This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Wait, Megamind has a second movie? Megamind is not only silly, goofy, and loved by millions, but it's also just like super duper popular for some reason. Even to this day, Megamind still gains worldwide acclaim, making it one of the most memorable movies in animated history. But this video isn't about the first movie. It's about the second movie. Everyone hates the second movie. Turns out this thing is kind of hot garbage. Listen, I'll be fair and admit that the pure genius of the original Megamind would have been hard to beat regardless. Not many movies can top this thing, to be honest. But I've actually seen some people recently say that the second movie isn't really that bad. Oh, wait, no, that was a typo. Oh, yep. There it is, he fixed it. Okay. Pretty much everyone in the world hates this movie. It actually had a 0% rating on Rotten Tomatoes at one point. But in an attempt to give this thing a fair shot, I'll be doing what I usually do by watching and recapping the entire Megamind sequel movie in full to see if it's really that bad. I watched the original movie for the very first time like a month ago or something, so it's fresh in my brain. Okay, it's up there, I can see it. But now I'm ready to be severely disappointed. People are saying DreamWorks fell off with this one. Is it true? That's what we're gonna find out today. So grab your copy of Pac-Man World 2 for the Nintendo GameCube, and without further ado, let's watch what may be DreamWorks' worst movie ever, Megamind 2. Our adventure begins with Megamind quite literally rushing DreamWorks off the screen as if it was fully aware that its heart and soul would go along with it. There's a solid minute and a half where Megamind just recaps everything that's happened in the first movie. He's super meta about it, talking to the viewer as if he's explaining a movie or something. Back off, dude. That's my thing. Also, my camera died, so I'm using this as a backup. Basically, Megamind is good now, so we get a title card and this movie can actually begin. I just want to say this, okay, all jokes aside, I'm sorry in advance. We start at Metro City's famous aquarium where three villains in fish costumes, I'm not kidding, are trying to steal a fish. They break in and say horrible puns. It's a little exhausting already, but I guess it's normal to front load movies nowadays with an excessive amount of zoomer humor comedy.
We got work to do. Go fish.
Why did he say that? I guess because they're fish? Would have made more sense if they were like playing cards or something. The bad guys are about to steal this diamond fish, which sounds like a mob in the new Minecraft update. Megamind shows up and we get a whopping 2 minutes of exposition. This movie explains everything to you like you're 5. Get used to it. To make a long story short, we find out that only 2 days have passed between this movie and the first one, despite them releasing almost 15 years apart. Also, Minion, who's a goated character and someone everyone loved in the first movie, has had his name changed to Chum. This is a super weird change, obviously. I think it's to avoid confusion with the Minions from Despicable Me. No matter what I do, I can never escape these yellow beans. This is a cry for help. I see them when I sleep. Mix that with the animation being in a completely different style and none of the original voice actors returning at all, not a single one. And already you're probably thinking, dude, what the f? Seriously, this looks like Cocomelon mixed with Gmod. Who asked for this? The bad guys steal the fish and run away. Megamind stops them almost immediately and saves a family from getting ran over thanks to the portal gun from Portal 2. There's more horrible puns and even reactions to the puns, which are always explained. You know, just in case you hated comedy.
It's a hard halibut to break. Halibut! Like the fish!
In the very next shot, when the fish dudes are getting arrested, it's daytime now, despite it being nighttime like 2 seconds ago. This is when we see Roxanne Ritchi, who's another super goated character from the original that will severely disappoint you in every way imaginable. All right, I'm just being mean now. She's not that bad in this, actually. Roxanne is kind of bummed out because she sees Megamind and Chum being heroes while she's still just a reporter. I guess she was incomplete, even though she was the happiest she had ever been like 2 days ago.
Roxanne Ritchi, reporting on the accomplishments of others.
Why is she so sad? She was dancing and in love like 2 days ago. We really waited 14 years just to find out Roxanne is depressed. This is when we're introduced to a brand new character. The reason this is so important is because this character, whose name is Keiko, kind of represents everything that's wrong with this movie. Turns out she'll be a continuous reminder of how animation as a medium will always be exploited by the big players to milk franchise after franchise, because respecting the viewer's time can make money, but we can make even more short term if we decide to slop it up. I'm not even talking about the character anymore. This movie just makes me incredibly angry. Anyway, so it turned out Keiko is Megamind's #1 fan. She knows all of his lore and is even the owner of his online fan club. If I had to guess, she probably made a really cool website. And you can too! Thankfully, if you're a person who wants to build their own website, blog, or online store, today's sponsor, Squarespace, is exactly what you're looking for. Squarespace is an easy-to-use website platform for creatives that offers a range of capabilities, including online stores, blogs, email campaigns, gated member areas, and more. With Squarespace, you can grow your credibility and engage visitors with an unrivaled suite of visual design effects built right into any Squarespace website. They have so many options and creative tools, you can basically do whatever you want. Also with Squarespace, you can explore design in intelligence. Combining 20 years of design expertise with Squarespace's Blueprint AI, it helps you craft a stunning, personalized website that shows off your own unique style and builds a recognizable online identity. And it gets even better because thanks to Squarespace Payments, it's extremely easy to sell access to your content and manage all of your payments all in one place. Seriously, if you ever want to build a website, this is the best option. So head to squarespace.com to start your free trial. And when you're finally ready to launch, head to squarespace.com/Darzii to save 10% on your first purchase of a website or domain. Back to the video. So Keiko is talking to Roxanne and showing off all of her Robux to her. This entire conversation is just there to make Roxanne realize she's bored of her job. She wants more out of life. Turns out talking into a camera with no immediate feedback is actually pretty boring. Who would have thought? We find out that Keiko has 500,000 subscribers, which means she's more popular than I am. But we also find out that Roxanne only has around 50,000 subscribers, which means I'm more popular than she is. L plus ratio plus get one pumped loser.
500,000 subscribers.
Did you say 500,000?
How does she have so many subscribers? I guess in a weird way, we're both doing the same thing. Just talking about Megamind. Chat, report her for subbotting. Keiko ends up talking to Megamind for a bit. Nothing really comes of it though. The movie makes fun of Megamind for being a boomer and not knowing what a smartphone is, I think.
And I suppose this is one of those smarty pants phones with a calculator built right in.
Okay.
He gives Keiko a bomb as a gift for some reason, probably hoping she activates it and ends all of our suffering. During this, Chum and Roxanne are talking. Turns out Chum is also pretty depressed because he feels mistreated all the time. He wants to be labeled a sidekick instead of just a minion. Interesting how they still call him a minion, even though they changed his name. He asks Megamind to be promoted to sidekick. Megamind says, no. Chum gets all sad and straight up leaves. He quits working for Megamind, which is kind of exactly what happened in the first movie. The only really important thing to remember is that Megamind thinks that Chum is bluffing here. Like, he thinks Chum is just going to be back next week. That's just how he is. He mentions the story about Chum asking to get a parakeet, but because they crap all the time, Megamind said no. This is super weird, but try to remember it because it does matter later, I guess. This is when we get some new characters. We're introduced to a team of evil villains that call themselves the Doom Syndicate. There's a couple of them, and they're all pretty stupid for the most part. Here's an edit so you can learn more about them.
Lord 99!
Why did you change it from Fright Night? That was so much better.
Yeah, it is a bit silly. Fright Night sounds like an actual villain. Nighty Night sounds like something Drake says. Anyway, after arguing about who's the leader of the group, turns out the Doom Syndicate is still in prison. This reveal is actually kind of funny to me. I'll give it that. One clap for you. Nighty Night can use the shadows as a weapon. This sounds very cool, but somehow this movie finds a way to make it look like an AI-generated Facebook post. The dude who's a mime can hypnotize people into doing whatever he wants. Behemoth can break down and attach himself back together. He's also just like really strong and made out of magma. And lastly, Lady Doppler can control the weather. Very cool, very original. Anyway, all this fancy stuff was for nothing because they just break the prison wall and escape. We cut to Roxanne now being depressed again. She makes her way over to Megamind's secret lair, which is looking a lot less detailed nowadays. Once there, the movie makes fun of Megamind for being stupid again. He's trying to use a toaster, but has no idea how. Isn't this guy's whole thing that he's supposed to be smart? Like, isn't that what his entire appearance is based on? Him having a big brain? This is when the Doom Syndicate shows up out of nowhere to come visit Megamind. This part is played off like Megamind owes the gang money and they're about to beat him up or something. But actually, the Doom Syndicate still thinks Megamind is evil, and turns out they broke out of prison to help serve him. What? What a crazy plot twist. This movie is so brave. Obviously, this is kind of awkward because Megamind is a good guy now. The Doom Syndicate actually knows that he's perceived as a hero by the people of Metro City, but they think that he's just pretending to trick everyone. Megamind actually good. Bad guys think Megamind is actually bad. This is basically just Among Us. Everyone is lying to everyone. No one knows who the imposter is.
Come on!
The animations, the dialogue, even just like the vibe. This has literally nothing in common with the original movie other than the characters. Roxanne comes out and everyone's surprised. She lies and says her and Megamind are married, I think. Roxanne has random beef with Lady Doppler from back in the day, but that's never expanded upon in this movie, so it literally doesn't matter at all. A bit later, once they're alone, Megamind explains to Roxanne that he used to be the leader of the Doom Syndicate, which is why they're all here now. And this makes almost zero sense, because in the first movie, Megamind went through his entire upbringing and his history and all that. He never once mentioned anything about a Doom Syndicate, so this feels extremely disingenuous. Like, even just a newspaper headline would have helped. Anything at all. Anyway, the bad guys are about to destroy the town for a bit, rampage style, which is when we skip to Chum working a brand new job. He's working at a rundown diner, and his boss also looks 100% AI generated. This dude is clearly living life to the fullest. More on that later though, because for now, the bad guys are destroying the town. Megamind stays back and tries to fix all the chaos the Doom Syndicate is causing, even ordering his drones to clean everything up. There's a scene where the dark edge edgy member of the group finds a teddy bear and names him something super overly adorable.
We'll call you Mr. Cuddly Snuggles.
Oh, that's kind of sweet.
Darkness.
Bro forgot he was in character for a second. At one point, Keiko is randomly caught in the crossfire and is about to die, but Megamind saves her and she gets all hyped. Keiko starts live streaming immediately because it's 2024 and this is the most accurate portrayal of society.
Wow, that's a clip.
Again, Keiko is left behind here, so Megamind catches up to the bad guys at the Metro City Bank. The bad people want Megamind to rob the bank to prove that he's still evil. Obviously, he doesn't want to rob the bank because he's not evil anymore. There's this really convoluted thing about how Keiko shows up and tells everyone that this is a fake heist being recorded as a safety drill, so like everyone plays along or something. I don't know. It's a bit far-fetched and nonsensical, but I guess it works. Everyone seems happy to participate too. It's kind of funny in the worst way possible.
I guess he is still a master villain.
The Doom Syndicate argue again about who's in charge here, by the way. Megamind appointed one of them as the leader, but no one can agree who that was. During this, Roxanne is talking to the mayor of the city. He's kind of an anxious wreck, though. He even downs some pills at one point. What is this movie even about? Back to Megamind, and he's about to go to bed. He's fully clothed over his bed sheets and has his grippers out. How iconic. He almost immediately gets woken up by some loud music. Turns out the Doom Syndicate is having a pretty huge party downstairs because they're evil, I guess. You know, techno. The devil's music. It's mentioned that all the people here are dark and dangerous criminals, but they all look like they work at Target, to be honest. You'd expect at least one flashy villain, like our main group, but I guess these guys are the only ones that look cool. But then, this is when Megamind gets scared because the fish criminals from earlier show up. I don't know why, but every time I see these guys, I think of that one fishing game on the Wii. You guys remember that game? That game was goated. Megamind freaks out because obviously the fish dudes know that he's actually a good guy for real. I feel like a couple of other criminals would have also known that, but I guess they don't. The fish people are about to tell everyone, so naturally, and I'm not kidding here, Megamind starts dancing on the stage to distract everyone, and it actually works. Megamind and the main fish guy fight, but everyone thinks they're having a dance battle. It's definitely one of the cartoon moments of all time. Eventually, Megamind turns the fish people into cubes. Not sure why he doesn't just do that with the Doom Syndicate. Seems like an actual solution, but whatever. The next morning, after the party, Roxanne shows up, which is when Megamind reveals that he had made an evil plan years ago with the Doom Syndicate, which is why they're back now. Back when he was the Doom Syndicate's leader, he had made an evil plan to plant rockets under Metro City, and thanks to some force field tech, blast all of Metro City to the moon, and yeah, that's the plan. So wait, let me get this straight. A man-child who has a minion was evil but turned good, and he at one point wanted to go to the moon. Alright, dude. F this movie. That was the coolest part of the entire movie so far because of the pixelated art and all that. Only lasted 3 seconds. We find out that Megamind had actually already installed the rockets to make the evil plan work. I won't question this because quite frankly, I'm already exhausted. To activate the rockets, they have to press a big red button in back of this password-protected door. Megamind pretends to forget the password to stall for time. Not sure why the big lava guy doesn't just break the wall like he did earlier. Maybe he's on low health and needs healing. I don't know. Also, once the bad guys leave, Megamind mentions how he remembers the password, and it's actually THX8675309. This is a reference to that one logo that's extremely loud, and that one song that has nothing to do with this movie at all. Classic Megamind moment. The good guys come up with a plan to stop the Doom Syndicate once and for all, so they go see Chum because they need him. Turns out he's transformed the rundown diner into a thriving donut shop. Megamind sees how happy Chum is working this job, so he just leaves and hopes that Chum is happier working at a donut shop. Chum's boss has a donut costume on, and it bothers me how the hole isn't where his face is. I cannot tell you how good this movie is at making people mad. None of this really matters though, because finally, later on, Megamind does what he should have always done. He tells the Doom Syndicate that he actually is a good guy now. He tries to trap them, but they break free and beat him up like he's a sandbag on the home run contest minigame. Eventually, Lady Doppler uses her Thor powers to blow Megamind up. He dies, and the villains finally win. This is so sad. Roxanne is now hanging out with Keiko. This is really weird. Where are her parents? The two girls almost immediately find Megamind, who didn't actually die, but is just hanging out in his wizard cosplay, pondering his orb. This is a big rally the troops moment. All three characters band together and swear to take the Doom Syndicate down. Also, to make it even more epic, Chum shows up for basically no reason at all and lets Megamind know that he quit his donut job. There's probably a good reason for this somewhere in this movie, but honestly, I'm too lazy to search it up, and no one watching this really cares enough, probably. So the gang goes shopping for supplies. This scene lasts over a minute, and it's just them running around a Walmart. During this, the bad guys try to get through the door to activate the rockets. They for some reason can't. This must be an iron door. No mob can get through that, not even creepers. Eventually, they do get it open and press the giant red button. Of course, there's like a 5-minute countdown before the rockets actually launch though, which thankfully gives Megamind enough time to put his plan into action. Megamind and Roxanne are to distract the Doom Syndicate while Chum sneaks into the building and deactivates the rockets. The way Megamind and Roxanne distract everyone is by shooting tennis balls at them using a homemade tennis ball gun thing. This somehow works for a bit, even though everyone here has insanely OP powers. Like spawn in a tornado, hypnotize them, literally just like fight back. What the hell is this, man? You can actually tell the frame that the tennis balls appear out of nowhere. No way this is the standard at DreamWorks. Look at this. Chum tries to stop the rockets, but he has to ditch his suit at one point, and the fish people stop him from pressing the button. The rockets go off, the entire city gets sent into space, or at least a section of the city. This doesn't look like the entire city at all. Bro just straight up clickbaited everyone. How ironic. During the chaos of it all, Roxanne orders the civilians around to not panic and get to cover. I think this is meant to be her epic girl boss moment where she finds purpose in her life. It's shown almost no attention in the story though and deserves so much better. Poor Roxanne. During this, Chum somehow beats all the fish people, even without his suit, and presses the button to cancel the rockets. Funny how the fish people lost to an actual fish. So now Megamind is falling from the sky and everyone is about to die. The Doom Syndicate is about to kill Megamind finally, but Megamind does the first big brain thing in this entire movie and exploits everyone's trust. He says that because he used to be the Doom Syndicate's leader, there's some legal thing where only the new leader is allowed to kill him. This causes a big argument because they still haven't decided who the new leader is, despite it very obviously being Lady Doppler. Like, she does basically everything, I'm not gonna lie. But then Megamind gets away and calls a new robot shaped like a parakeet to go save Chum. This is the closest thing we're getting to character development in this movie. Megamind putting his ego aside and getting Chum the gift he's always wanted, even though it was only vaguely mentioned one time at the beginning of the movie. Megamind is now stuck in some construction zone with the Doom Syndicate. This seems like a tough situation, but I won't sugarcoat this. He basically 1v4s everyone and wins the fight. He is actually about to lose at one point, but Keiko uses the grenade Megamind gave her at the start of the movie and straight up kills Lord Nighty Night.
Nighty night, nighty night.
Every day I wake up and there's nothing but sorrow and pain. The entire city is still falling during all of this, by the way. It's been falling for like 6 minutes now. The good guys head to the room and flick a switch, which I guess stops the city from making a crash landing. It definitely just stops all of the city's momentum in a split second, which is essentially the same thing as a crash landing, but who cares? Everyone is saved, the world is back to normal. Megamind now has 3 new sidekicks. They did put the city on backwards, which might be an issue, but let's not talk about that. Roxanne is somehow the mayor of this city now. They rip off Batman with Megamind's own bat signal, and the movie ends with perhaps the most symbolic moment of the entire film when this happens.
Evil has finally met its match.
And that was the entire movie, Megamind versus the Doom Syndicate. Was it really that bad? I can't even ask the question. Obviously, this movie's pretty bad. It took none of the things that made the original movie so good, but there is actually an explanation for all this. Apparently, this movie was never supposed to be a Megamind sequel, but actually a pilot movie for the new Megamind series that recently came out. That would explain the low-budget TV animation, the entire switch of the voice cast, and just feeling super out of place. But even knowing that information, I'm not surprised fans can't help but feel betrayed, because the original was so loved and iconic, and this one is just like not that. I know most people were really excited for this and were severely disappointed. Sure, this movie sucks and has almost zero charm across the board, but it also comes down to DreamWorks not managing expectations very well and marketing it as a new Megamind movie, which ended up hurting them a lot more than helping them. It retcons almost everything. The comedy is for a completely different audience. It's just not even really Megamind. So was this movie really that bad? Let me know in the comments. But yes, it was. It was really that bad. If you want to support the channel because you like my videos, become a member for only a single $1. You get access to a bunch of custom emojis and get your name at the end of all my future videos right here. Thank you to all my current members. You guys are the best and I appreciate you guys so much. Paul Abdul scores this one a solid 0% out of 100. And yeah, thanks for watching.
Evil has finally met Smarty Pants phone.